Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to dive into a really key idea in the 22 Swertres Cycles System, the anomaly. Understanding what this is, well, it's absolutely crucial if you want to correctly read the data and tell the difference between a real pattern and just, random noise.
So let's just start with this one question. What happens when you're looking at all the data and suddenly a pattern pops up that you totally did not expect? Something that just doesn't seem to fit the model. Right there, in that moment of surprise, that's where this whole thing begins.
Okay, so let's get right into it. Part 1, what exactly is an anomaly? We need to establish a really clear, practical definition so we're all on the same page. Look, in plain English, it's super simple. An anomaly is just something that's a bit unusual. It's something that deviates from the norm, something that doesn't quite fit. It's that thing that makes you stop for a second and just go, that's weird. But when we talk about it within our system, the 22 Swertres Cycles System, the definition gets way more specific. For us, a system anomaly isn't just a one-off strange event. No way. It has to be a pattern that we've seen in the draw data. And here's the most important part. It has to have shown up multiple times. If it's only happened once, it doesn't even get on our radar. And this question, this is the turning point. This is the moment an observation starts to feel like it could be something more. It's when an event has repeated just enough times that you have to stop and really ask yourself, okay, is this just random luck? Or is the data actually trying to tell me something important? So how does a simple, that's weird moment turn into a trusted, reliable law? Well, it's not a quick process, that's for sure. There's a really strict, evidence-based journey that every single potential pattern has to go through. This is what separates a random curiosity from a genuinely reliable insight. This right here is our golden rule. It is absolutely non-negotiable. A single event on its own proves absolutely nothing. And why is that? Because anything can happen once, right? That could just be random chance at play. We build trust in this system through repetition and hard evidence, not on a single fluke. So here's how an idea kind of graduates through the system. Think of it like this. It all starts with just one single event. We call that an observation. If we see it again, maybe 2 to 4 times, it gets promoted to a hypothesis. Now we're talking. If it keeps happening, somewhere between 5 and 9 times, it becomes a candidate. Once it hits 10 confirmed cases, boom, it's an active law. And finally, with 30 or more documented cases, it becomes a proven law. It's a real journey from a simple question mark to something close to certainty. So the big idea here is that anomalies are basically the seeds of future laws. They're like the early warning signals coming from the data. Every single proven pattern that we rely on today started out as just a simple question mark that we decided to investigate with a whole lot of discipline. Okay, that's enough theory. Let's make this real. What does this actually look like in practice? We're going to look at a recent case study to see this whole process in action. Let's talk about anomaly A33, which right now is known as the Cascade Hypothesis. All right, let's break down what went on back in April of 2026. On the 14th, something happened that we'd never seen before. 4 different cycles were all in what we call a high-pressure state at the exact same time. Basically, they were all statistically overdue for a win. Then, a few days later, on the 18th, the most pressured cycle, number 17, it finally hit. It resolved. But what happened next is the really interesting part. In just the next 2 days, the other 3 high-pressure cycles also hit, one after the other, like dominoes. That rapid chain reaction, that's what we call the cascade.
So, how many times have we seen this exact cascade pattern play out? Exactly once. Just one time. This single number, this is probably the most important piece of information you'll see. It's the reason we have to be so incredibly careful with how we talk about this. And this is precisely why A33 is a hypothesis and not a law. The pattern of events that happened, it was totally real. We documented it all, and yeah, it's super interesting. But because it's only happened once, it's just not enough evidence to build confident predictions on. For it to become a law, we have to see it happen again, and probably again after that, to prove it's a real structural behavior of the system. This case study leads us perfectly into the core philosophy of this entire approach. It's really all about focusing on what the data is actually telling us and trying our best to remove our own excitement or biases from the whole equation. It all comes down to a set of core values, really. We always choose accuracy over excitement. We value documentation way more than drama, and we stick to honesty over hype, even when the data isn't telling us what we want to hear. That's why every single prediction is logged publicly before the draw happens, and our entire track record, and yes, that includes all of our misses, is out there for everyone to see. It's all about disciplined, transparent learning.
So, if there is just one thing that you take away from all of this, please make it this. An anomaly is not a prediction. It's a question that the data itself is asking us. The cascade is asking, hey, does one resolution trigger a bunch of others? And so far, the data has only given us one answer. Our job is just to wait and to listen for the next one.